Hi, this is Evelyn Clark, and you're listening to Matthew Shapiro and the Six Wheels Consulting Disability Podcast.
Sweet.
Welcome to the Sixth Wheels Consulting Podcast, dialoguing disability and discussing difference, inclusion, and all abilities in today's world. Now here are your hosts, Matthew Shapiro and Bob Nolly.
Yes, indeedy. Here we are. Dr. Bob Nolly here. Glad you're here too. Thanks for finding your way back. That's always the deal. Here is my friend and our host, Matthew Shapiro. Matthew, how are you?
I'm great, Bob. Glad to be back for yet another episode.
Yeah.
We're on quite the roll.
Yeah, I'm sure that I'm hoping that folks that are listening to us are exhausted just from listening to everything you've got on your plate right now.
I'm pretty tired. I will say that.
All right, don't fold on us quite yet. There is one thing that many people want to have the chance to do in their lives, and most of them, of course, do not, because they don't have the means to take the time to do that, or they don't have I'll just say the diligence to get it done, and that's write a book.
Yes.
And not only have you thought about writing a book, you are deep into the book you are writing. Without spilling the beans and saying things you don't want to say, what can you tell us about what you're doing so far?
So I will tell you, it is one of the most arduous and crazy processes that I think I've ever undertaken. And truthfully, we're nowhere near done. We probably have about 4 chapters done, and we'd like to get anywhere between 15 and 20 to really be in a good place for a book. I'm working with a ghostwriter. When I first thought about the process, I thought I was going to sit down and write everything myself, and I quickly learned that that is not the best strategy. So I've been working with a ghostwriter for about a year and a half now, and we meet twice a week, and she continues, she's interviewed me, she's interviewed my friends. We have different topics that we're going to talk about in the book, and she is just going through the process of, taking all the interviews and taking my words and taking my stories that I've shared with her and turning it into a narrative form. And so it's been, like I said, a very arduous and tedious and long process up to this point.
But if you're just at 15 chapters, you're over 25%, and when you started, you were at 0%.
That is a very accurate and correct way of putting it, sir. Yes.
So the progress you're being made has to be inspiring, even to you, and this word will get out. In the marketing side of it, is there a chance that you might release like chapter 1 to your tribe, people that listen to you here, or you're still thinking about that?
That's not a bad idea. Still sort of chewing on it. I think one of the other next big steps for us is to obviously get some more chapters done. I think the original intent was to try to get like 5 chapters done and a book proposal, and sort of see if we can, gin up some interest from book publishers or other things. I definitely don't want to. I definitely don't want to self-publish. There's a lot of work in that, and I don't have
It's a ton.
I don't have the time or the bandwidth, as everyone has noticed from our previous episodes. I'm very busy, and I just don't have the manpower to be able to self-publish something. So definitely looking for a publishing situation. If any of our listeners know of any publishers, please feel free to share them with us. We're definitely looking for things like that. And so I don't know if we would share the first chapter yet or not. We haven't really thought about it. We're just trying to get the work done, and sort of see where the wind takes us.
Yeah, how does the path that you're on, if you started this first 4, I'm sure in the beginning it was hard to get started. I'm sure you've developed a great relationship with your ghostwriting staff. But as you got momentum, have you felt a sense of momentum growing there where you go, oh, yes, we also need to talk about this person or cover this topic?
new topics do pop up, and we sort of add them to a growing list. And so yes, but like I said, it's still a tedious process. Even with us meeting twice a week, it still feels like we have a lot of work to do. But I'm excited to continue to do that work, right? Because ultimately I want to share a message about what disability life is really like. I want to be authentic. I want to be genuine. I want to share the good times and the bad times and the struggles, and give people who are reading it a true understanding of, like, yes, this is what disability life is like, but it is not a situation where my disability prevents me from doing anything, right? Or living a really good and healthy and productive and adventurous life. And so it is a learning process every time we get together, and every time I get together with my ghostwriter. We're unpacking things. We are thinking about how we might market things. We're thinking about how we might put together a book proposal. There's all different kinds of conversations that go on throughout this process.
We always say we want to keep this show evergreen, and of course we never quite do that. But
we do sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes we do. When this comes out of the time capsule, we'll know what time it is. But this is going to be one of them. On this show in the past, you and I have talked about disability in the arts, and we looked at a movie in the past that spoke directly to that point. And I'm just encouraged that just 2 nights ago, the movie Coda won Best Picture.
Yes, I love that movie. I've seen it myself. It's definitely one of the better representations of disability I've seen. 3 of the 4 main actors in the movie were people who are deaf, and so I was excited to see that disability was finally getting recognition from moviegoers and other people, and I think you're right. Any form of media, be it movie, be it book, be it television show, that can, I think, correctly and genuinely and authentically represent disability is what we need to be seeing, right? And not even just disability, but just differences in general.
I know that's just a big point, and I know you don't have, sometimes when people start podcasts, they hit record and then they stop, and then they post it or host it out there, and they go, is anybody listening? Let me tell you, in your case, people are listening, and I think the whole sense of what we saw with the movie in the Oscars, Coda, this season, and other movies in the past are real evidence of that.
Sure.
Well done, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to the 6 Wheels Consulting Disability Podcast. This is Dr. Bob Nolly. For myself and your host, Matthew Shapiro, think inclusion and keep rolling forward. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, everybody.